Guys, and welcome back to PowerPoint 257 C++ tutorial series. In this video, we're going to keep it brief and we're just going to talk about the do while loop. So we've talked about while loops and we know that while loops can be declared like this, and we know that this inner condition is going to run as long as it's true, right? And so today we're going to talk about the do while loop, which is applies us the same concept but just in a bit of a different way, right? So when we declare a while loop, right, like I said, we know that this is going to run as long as this is true. But let's say we have an integer, right? Let's say we have integer x is equal to 4. And we want this condition to say be while x is greater than 4, right? And let's say in here let's print out x, right? If we run this, nothing's going to get printed because this statement isn't true, right? And today when we're talking about the do while loop, you're going to see that it's a while loop that has the same concept that it'll be evaluated as long as the while statement is true, but it's going to make sure that something runs typically at least one time. The do while loop's typically not covered much in beginner level C++ courses, but it's always nice to have all the skills in your arsenal that you can. And so let's get right into it. So the syntax for a do while loop is going to be like this. Do just, and then there's not going to be a condition right here, just the brackets. We're going to get straight into it, and this is obviously where you're going to write your code, just like a while loop. But your while statement is actually going to be tagged onto the end of the loop. And so, like I said, the same logic is going to apply in the sense that the loop is going to run while this is true. But remember when I talked about how your programs run from top down, whether it be in your main function or your other functions, right? So what's going to happen is let's make this statement not true again, right? While x is greater than 4, right? This statement isn't true, right? But if we want, in here we'll just say see out x, right? If we run this, we're going to see that we actually will print out x at least one time. Because going back to the fact that your program is going to run from top down, ooh, some bad spacing right here, my bad. Your program is going to run from top down. So what's going to happen is it's getting here and it's going to execute this code and then get to the while statement at the very end, right? So let's say we set x equal to 1, right? And we want to print out x and we're going to increment x, right? As long as x, say, is less than 4, right? We're going to print out x, right? So what's going to happen when we run? This is going to say 1, 2, 3, right? Because it's looping as long as this condition is true. But and so you see that this condition, once we get to 4, is no longer true, right? And so then it's going to break out of the loop. So it's a similar concept as a while loop, but just instead of having the while statement at the very top, like we would in a while loop, right? Something like this, right? Instead of having the true statement here, whether it be true or false, see, in this case, this while loop wouldn't run entirely, right? Because this condition isn't true, right? And even if we were to set this equal to false, this is gonna we're gonna see that this actually still runs one time. Because even though this is false, right? The difference between this, right? Actually, let's just contrast the two really quick. We're gonna see that we print out 1, right? The same code, right, is going to take place, even though, let's get rid of x plus, oh, type that into the compiler, my bad. But, okay, so you see that same type of code, both the while statements are false, but we can see the difference is that one, the while statement is at the top, so it checks it before any code is executed. The next one, the do while though, it's going to execute the code and then check after the first iteration of that loop. Alrighty, so like I said, the do while loop isn't typically covered as much. I'll place more emphasis on just understanding the concepts of the while loops, and then definitely once we get into for loops and whatnot. But it's always nice to have more skills in your arsenal. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep programming, keep having fun, guys. And until next time, peace out.